UFC Des Moines is this Saturday night. We have 12 fights headlined by Corey Sandhagen taking on Davison Figueiredo. I'm going to be breaking down each and every one of them, giving a quick pick and all my favorite bets on every single fight of the card, starting at the bottom and working my way all the way to the top in the main event. Let me know in the comments what you guys have bet, who your favorite underdog in this entire card is, and if you want a longer, more in-depth breakdown, check out my video from a couple days ago where I went about 30 minutes in into each fight a little bit more. This is going to be nice, short, and sweet. So leave a like on the video, click subscribe, turn those post notifications on, and don't forget to let me know your favorite underdog on this entire card in the comments below. Let's get into it, man. First fight on the card, we got Juliana Miller taking on Ivana Petrovic. I think if Petrovic wins, I think she's the rightful favorite, but, I don't think she, her performances justify this kind of line really against any opponent. Not high on Juliana Miller. I think Petrovic gets the takedowns. Miller's a little too acceptant of being on her back, and I don't think the striking is that great. It's decent volume, but I don't think she's that great on the feet either. So I think Petrovic gets the takedowns, wins the fight, 15 minutes decision. And so give me Petrovic decision. We move on. We got Dontel Mays taking on Thomas Peterson. I think Peterson wins. He's not reliable. Heavyweight fight. He's like minus 350 now. Coming off a knockout loss only 3 months ago. It's definitely a dangerous fight, but I'm going to say he does get the win, mix in some takedowns, get some ground and pound. The striking pretty competitive. Mays is a big guy. He can crack, but I think Peterson can put him on his back, hold his own on the feet. Give me Peterson by decision. We move on to the next one. We got Gaston Bolaños taking on Kong Lee. Seems like everybody's on Kwang Bang Lee here. But, he seems like everybody's favorite underdog on this card. But I think Bolaños wins. I just don't have faith that Lee's going to get the takedowns here. If he mixes it up, he could, look like a favorite here. I do think he has a grappling advantage. I have seen Bolaños getting taken down by Aaron Phillips. So I was tempted to lay minus 135 on Bolaños once the line came down. But I think I'm just going to pass. I think he wins. I think they're going to primarily strike, and I think he's the better striker. But not going to have faith in a guy who I've seen get taken down 5 times by Aaron Phillips. So give me Bolaños. I'm going to take him by knockout. I think someone gets knocked out, but could go either way. Next up, we got Marina Rodriguez taking on Jillian Roberson. I think the line's justified, man. I'm not one to lay minus, I think, about 350 now on a lower level. I won't say low, like mid-level women's MMA. Just not my style. Marina Rodriguez is getting up there in age. She has been taken down in her last 11 fights. I think this one will make it 12. I think Jillian Roberson, maybe she can't get the submission, but she will dominate to a decision. Give me Jillian Roberson by decision, and won't be parlaying that, though. Next up, we got Azmat Bekoyev taking on Ryan Loder. I do think this Bekoyev dude's pretty good. I just think he's a little overrated. The record looks good, pretty well-rounded, but, if you go into the fights, it's just lower-level competition, and then he's got a guy like Dylan Budka, and I know everybody's talking about it, but it needs to be talked about. Budka, similar matchup to someone like Ryan Loder, but I think Ryan Loder's a bigger, stronger guy with better wrestling. And Budka, you could argue he won that fight. It could have went either way. It was a close, competitive fight. Not a good look, and that was only like less than 2 years ago. So I'm going to take Bekoyev. I do think he should be the favorite. I do think he has a striking advantage. I'm not a big fan of Ryan Loder on the feet, but I think the line's wide. I told you guys I was going to bet him. I was going to wait for the line, and it was sitting at plus 315. I waited, and sure enough, it hit plus 340 later that night. So I went ahead and bet that. Ryan Loder plus 340. But I will stick with my pick of Bekoyev. I think he should be the favorite, but the line is just wide. Next up, we got Yana Santos taking on Miesha Tate. I like Yana Santos here, man. I think it's two older ladies. She's only 35, but neither have been looking great. Tate retired, came back. Santos, even her last performance, what can you really give her? Decision win over Chelsea Chandler, a girl who just got sparked by Jocelyn Edwards. But I will say, man, I already had Santos picked. Like, I've picked her all since they announced this. But, man, at the weigh-ins, it did make me consider. I've been considering it, but plus money, Santos. And then you see the weigh-ins, and, bro, she made Tate look small. Like, I know Tate, like, the height doesn't really matter too much. It can actually help someone like Tate. The height on this listing is so wrong. She's probably got about 2.5 inches on her. But she also looked like she's been taking some of her husband's special supplements. She was looking jacked. And Tate, maybe that helps, or at least maybe the muscle helps slow her down, and maybe the height helps Tate get under her hips and take her down. But I'm gonna stick with my pick of Santos. Tempting to take the plus money, but I think I'll just pass. I'm not a big Santos guy, But I do think she wins this fight. Moving on, Jeremy Stevens taking on Mason Jones. Man, it's tough. You got that coming. He's like 2-6 in his last 8 MMA fights. He was losing over in PFL. Then he went over to bare knuckle, won 3 in a row. But it's bare knuckle. This ain't boxing. This ain't bare knuckle. It's MMA. It's a lot different. I think Mason Jones should have never been cut. Both his losses are the top guys. I think he's very good, but maybe it'll be a blessing in disguise. I think he is very much so UFC caliber. I think he will have a much better second career here, and I think he gets the win. It's like 6-1 now for Stevens. It is kind of tempting, but probably be better just taking the KO prop if you were. It's like plus 850 or something like that. Well, I guess it's not too much better. Maybe not. But I do think that's pretty much his path to victory. So, give me Mason Jones. Mason Jones, I think he wins by decision, though. I consider that's like plus 160, or it was earlier this week. Because Stevens has been finished like 10 times almost, but, maybe like 8 or 9. But he is tough. And I think hometown, he wants to go back to bare knuckle and do some more stuff. Maybe actual boxing again. So I don't think he's going to want to get finished here. The way they're going to fight, though, maybe he could get finished, but plus money, I don't hate that. Next up, we got Cameron Smotherman taking on Siri City. Seems like, this is another one of those fights, like the Kong Lee fight, where, the community's kind of split. There's not a lot of underdogs that I love on this card, just like the last card, and, that's proved true the last, 2 cards. This is one I do kind of like, though, man. I get it. City did make him look small at the weigh-in, and I knew he would. He is the much bigger guy. He has a huge freaking bantamweight, and Smotherman's not that big. Smotherman has been finished a couple times, and he doesn't have the best wrestling, but I don't think City's going to take him down. I don't think Smotherman's chin is as bad as some people say it is. He has been hurt a good amount. I don't think his chin's great, but I do think it's just kind of the way he fights. But I don't know if City wants to fight him like that, man. If they start brawling, Smotherman, I do think has the better hands. I think he's training harder than ever. I think he's taking his career super seriously. So if they're just going to strike, I like plus 142 on the Smotherman side. I'm sticking with my underdog pick. I did bet him plus 142. I think he could knock him out. He could win by decision, but I think he's going to put some hands on him. So give me Smotherman as an underdog. We move on. Montel Jackson taking on Daniel Marcos. This is a super high-level fight. I'm really excited for it, but it's tough to be super confident, man. I know some people got Montel at like minus 115. Dude, congrats. I wish I would have. I considered parlaying him with somebody in the, a couple fights down, but I just think I'm going to pass. It's like minus 220 now, 215. I'll just pass. I do think he wins, but Daniel Marcos undefeated for a reason, super well-rounded. I do think, I think this is time to get that first L. Montel, the only problem with him is just that inactivity, but you start to question like the activity, how serious he take his career, but I do think he should win this fight. I've always been super high on Montel. I've been waiting to see him fight higher caliber competition. I hope he gets this win so we can, hopefully see him more active, but going to be a good fight. One of my favorites on the card. Give me Montel. I'm going to take him by decision. But he could spark him, but Marco is super durable. Next up, we got Santiago Ponzinbio versus Daniel Rodriguez. I'm on the Ponzinbio side. I bet him at plus 105. I just think he's a better fighter, man. And I know the durability hasn't been looking great. He hasn't been looking great in general. He got hurt in a lot of his last fights. D-Rod probably does have the better durability, probably does throw a little bit more volume, but I'm going to lean on Santiago. I think they're going to pretty much just strike. I think Santiago can get those kicks going, the leg kicks, the body kicks, keep him honest with some of those head kicks. Probably isn't going to do a ton of wrestling, but I think the striking, do think he's the better striker. And as long as he doesn't get clipped, doesn't get knocked out, I think he wins this fight. So give me Santiago Ponzinbio, plus 105. We move on to the co-main event, Bo Nickel versus Rainer DeRitter. The second leg of what I sat all week and almost parlayed Bo Nickel with Montel. I do think they both win. I think Bo can knock Rainer out. I think he can stay safe. He gets on top. I think this is one of the first times, probably the first time Bo Nickel's had a bettable line. And, I kind of do wish I got him at like when he was like, minus 290, minus 310. But, I think I'll just pass, man. Rainer is good. He is dangerous. This is a step up. He's super experienced. But I do think Bo, he's a problem, man. I think he can hold his own on the feet. I think he can get takedowns. I think he's got more power. I think he's more durable. I think he's just tougher. Give me Bo Nickel. I'm going to take him by knockout, but it could be a decision. Next up, we got the main event, Corey Sandhagen taking on Davison Figueiredo. There's no secret here, no hot take. I think Corey Sandhagen wins. I think he's the big favorite for a reason. But I will say, man, Figgy, people were saying, he wasn't coming in shape. He looks like he's in good shape. They both got wrestling. I could see either guy getting takedowns. at like 4-1, 455, you know, you can do worse bets than Davison. It is tempting. I have Figgy written down as one of the three money lines I haven't played that is like kind of tempting. If it were to jump, you know, he's got submission upside, he's got knockout upside, you know, he can get some wrestling going. Like, there's past the victory for Davison here. The only thing I hate is it being 5 rounds. He's getting up there. He's this much smaller guy. Corey's got a much better volume. I think Corey wins. I think Corey wins either late finish or decision, but the line is getting a little crazy. So, as far as my bets, I got Ponzinbio plus 105. I got Smotherman plus 142, and I got Ryan Loader plus 340. I'm considering, you know, potentially, if the lines move, Figgy, Santos, Stevens, money line. I'm looking at some props, but, you know, not a lot of props, parlays. I'm trying to, you know, money lines where I've been excelling. I've always excelled there, but especially this year. So I'm kind of keeping it simple. This is just like last card. It's kind of a light card. These last like 3 cards have just been kind of hard betting wise. I'm looking forward to that pay-per-view next week, but keeping it kind of simple, keeping it light for this one. If I play anything else, I will tweet it out as always. You can follow me at Cody MMA, Instagram, Twitter, all that. Appreciate you guys. Like the video, click subscribe, turn those post notifications on. I do this every single week, full breakdown and the quick picks like this. So check it out next week. I appreciate you. Make some money. Good luck. Peace.